You're watching the Daily Dodge pregame show.
And welcome to the Beaver Dam Fieldhouse. This is Justin the Ninja Wilski coming to you live as we are prepared to cover some varsity wrestling tonight. I am joined on the call today by not Wade Bates, not Mike Tronson, but athletic director Ryan Gerber. Ryan, how you doing this evening?
Awesome, Ninja. I'm doing great. Hey, start of the wrestling season is always awesome. Love to kick it off here in the Fieldhouse, and we got a good matchup tonight.
I'm super excited because, as we kind of talked about before coming into this, although I am a fan of watching wrestling, especially live, you can get all the energy, everybody's cheering. Yeah, both teams really getting into it. I know next to nothing other than I see two people grappling, and at times you think nothing's happening, but there's a lot going on. And you are incredibly knowledgeable about this.
Well, I don't know about that, but I did coach for a little bit down just south of here. I was a head coach for a number of years. So we're gonna get through this together, Ninja, and hopefully the people out there watching on YouTube can enjoy what's going on and aren't too turned off by the things that I have to say. But you know, good wrestling is always fun to watch. I don't care what level it is. And, you know, there's a lot of schools that are starting their season, they're opening their season maybe with a non-conference match, or they're waiting till Saturday to have a tournament going on. We jump right into the Badger Conference meet here with MG McFarland coming up to Beaver Dam. Not a lot of programs get the opportunity to wrestle in a tough conference like we do. A lot of the schools that wrestle here, they don't have to go crazy far to get great matches because their conference slate's so tough. So it's nice to see an opening match here where you got two solid teams, two very well-coached teams, two teams that had a lot of youth on their team last year, and they're hoping that their kids take the next step. So it'll be a good opening duel for the season. One of these teams is going to take a win and put it in the win column for the conference slate and add points to the conference slate later in the year as the tournament concludes things in February. And, you know, tomorrow both these teams are going to be action in the tournament. So there's a lot going on with wrestling that's different than maybe other sports where you have that layoff a little bit. Both of these teams will be wrestling tonight. One of them would get on the bus, go home, but they're all getting on a bus early tomorrow morning for another weigh-in and another opportunity for 5 matches tomorrow. Wow,
that's not a very quick turnaround. I mean, you hear for that in basketball. You don't tend to hear that in football unless it's right before playoffs or something. This is kind of a unique thing. Now I know tonight you said is also alumni night.
Yeah, so we got a big crowd here and loving to see. There's been about 5 head coaches in the Beaver Dam wrestling history, and all 5 of those groups are represented tonight. Huge crowd here. It's nice to see that Coach Winker and his staff are putting together an alumni night. I know there's talks of enhancing this in the future and doing some fun things to honor the past, which we've talked a little bit about amongst the staff. And yeah, big crowd. It's going to be great to see. You know, where I was a coach, we had an alumni night. It was always one of the best nights of the year. See people coming that you don't normally see, but they come back because they want to come back to their alma mater. This is like homecoming for wrestling. So great atmosphere. If you're out there in Beaver Dam yet and you're at home and you're going to watch on YouTube, come on out. There's plenty of room here and plenty of time before the varsity gets started. Come on out, watch this team live and in living color.
Yeah, absolutely. We always welcome people to come on out to the Fieldhouse. As much as we love everybody to tune in on Daily Dodge TV, which is where you can watch us today, either on dailydodge.com, Daily Dodge TV tab.
Tell you what you do. You come out here.
Right.
You bring your phone. You bring the earbuds.
There you go.
You listen to us.
You get the best of both worlds. You get the play-by-play, which is great. Your expert play-by-play and my dumbfounded questions. And you also get to watch everything live. That's a beautiful idea.
Right.
I will say we don't have the email because I don't have access to the email. So if you want to talk to us here at the booth, the best way to do so is chat with us right there on our YouTube channel. You can chat with us there, and we'll be sure to pass any questions you have on to Ryan Gerber.
And I know there's a few of you out there that have my number.
Oh, there you go.
You can text me, but I'm not giving that out on the air. So.
No. we won't have him give it out on air. We may broadcast it right here on the stream so you can see it, along with home address, shoe size, blood type, all that other fun
Fantastic.
stuff. We'll try and keep it under control. We do want to go ahead and take a quick break. We want to remind everybody that our presentation tonight is brought to you by our sponsors. That is, of course, Hometown Glass and Improvement, Columbus Family Dental, and the Beaver Dam Unified School District. The stream is also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings, Klodowski Real Estate, Slumberland, Silica for Your Home, Summit Ford, Beaver Dam Mayville Tire and Service, Surefire, Richards Insurance, Reed Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Park Village Shopping Center, Preferred Dental Partners, Jerry's Automotive, Air Care, Napleton Chevy Buick GMC, and White Construction. When we come back, Wade has put together a nice little pregame for us here on Daily Dodge TV.
Are you ready for peace of mind? Chad Guzzi here, owner of Air Care in Beaver Dam. If you're tired of unexpected repair bills, you want to sign up for our Total Care plan. It ensures top performance and prolonged life of your heating and air conditioning equipment. Air Care's Total Care customers receive annual inspections as well as a reduced maintenance rate plus a 10% discount on all service repairs. Air Care, big enough to serve you, small enough to care. 920-356-8860.
The teams at Beaver Dam and Mayville Tire and Service are growing and adding service technicians and auto lube technicians. Work in a clean shop environment with a fun and friendly team that is committed to excellence and customer satisfaction. Competitive pay based on experience, full benefits, including health, dental, 401k. Join the growing team at Beaver Dam and Mayville Tire and Service. Find full job postings on Facebook or visit either location to submit your resume.
Hi, this is Dr. Adam Forster at Columbus Family Dental. If you've been unhappy with your smile, it's time that you come and see us. Our team of doctors are waiting to help you get your smile back. We'll take the time to talk with you and treat you like a member of our family, not just another number. Whether it's a whole mouth makeover or simply a little tweak, we'll find the right solution that fits you. For your free, no-pressure consultation, call us today at 623-5559.
Cheer! Now cheer louder. Any accomplishment worth doing is worth doing with all your heart and soul. The entire team at Hometown Glass and Improvement knows that dedication, time, and respect can lead to greatness. When practicing free throws, running for a touchdown, or installing new windows and doors, it's a commitment to something larger than oneself that creates a legacy. So keep cheering for your hometown team. Hometown Glass and Improvement, online at hometownglass.com.
Professional, responsible, dependable. That's JB Mechanical of Beaver Dam, a customer-focused heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company. JB Mechanical features the best products in the country, cutting-edge techniques and technology, and the best practices and training in the industry. JB Mechanical will install and maintain residential, commercial, and industrial comfort systems and plumbing. When you want energy efficiency and reduced fuel bills, you want a company you can trust from installation to maintenance. You want JB Mechanical of Beaver Dam.
Jerry's Automotive in Beaver Dam is a champion of our local schools. Team up with Jerry's Automotive by pumping your gas at their Spirit Pump, where 2 cents of every gallon is donated to a local school each month. Jerry's Automotive also provides exceptional vehicle service and repairs and a great selection of convenience items. Visit Jerry's Automotive Center WI.com and on Facebook. Jerry's Automotive, 700 North Spring Street in Beaver Dam, across the street from Beaver Dam Food Pride.
Is selling your home like a walk in the park? If you were in Central Park at 2 a.m. maybe. Chris Klodowski Real Estate. When it is time to sell, be it due to loss or love, growth or downsizing, staying near or going far, there are 3 basic steps. List it, sell it, move on. The steps are made simple by working with a trusted real estate advisor. Our family team is with you every step of the way, making those 3 steps as smooth and fun as possible. Klodowski Real Estate. We look forward to serving you.
You're watching the Daily Dodge pregame show.
Beaver Dam High School wrestling team getting ready for another big season as we bring in head coach Tim Winker. Coach, as your team's getting ready for 2023-24, just what are your thoughts of your squad so far?
I mean, we got a lot of returning wrestlers from last year, a lot of guys with a lot of excellent wrestling experience. The new freshmen and new wrestlers are bringing in this year, come in with a lot of experience. So we're just really fortunate. They kind of all spread out across all the weights. So I think we're going to be have a pretty good team this year filled with a lot of experienced kids.
Can you kind of talk about how it's been building this program up? Because we've seen this team make improvements, it seems like every year since you've taken over. Just can you kind of talk about the commitment to the kids and the people in the program to get this program to where you want it to be?
I mean, yeah, it all starts at the youth level. When you get kids involved and passionate about wrestling from a young age, and now they're building those skills and that passion for the sport and understanding the hard work and everything that goes into it. It really pays dividends once those kids get to the high school. So now you have kids with a lot of experience getting on the mat. Especially you have kids from 106 pounds all the way up to 285. Well, you're not going to find a whole lot of juniors and seniors at those lower weights. So having kids come in with a lot of experience that can contribute as a freshman and sophomore is huge to making the strength of that lineup all the way through.
And Coach, you're seeing competition at weight classes now too, aren't you?
Yeah, I've had more wrestle-offs this year than I think I've had in the previous 12 years combined, which is a testament to how good everyone in our room is and how, because we have so many good kids, we don't have a spot for all of them. And there's going to be a lot of really quality wrestlers that are stuck not in the starting lineup because they're just behind somebody else that's also really good. It's a good problem to have. I'm not complaining about it that much. It's just it's a different problem. So it's the competition in the practice room is great, elevates what everybody else is seeing when they look around the room, that you got two, many sets of really good wrestlers going at it in live wrestling, and kind of forces everybody else to step up their game because they realize what they need to do to get to that level.
Coach, can you kind of talk about your team this year? Maybe start from the lower weights and work your way up of what kids are going to be out on the mat?
Yeah, 106. Landon Johnson was backup for us last year. He was stuck behind a senior who was pretty good in Rolando Trevino. But Landon Johnson will be starting for us at 106 as a sophomore. At 126, we got another great returner in Grayson Kennevan. He wrestled 113 for us last year. Won a lot of matches. Unfortunately, he kind of had his season ended early with injury in January. But we're looking forward to get him back and healthy into the lineup. 132, Avery Femwright's been a 2-year starter for us, 2-year sectional qualifier. He's won over 30 matches last year. He's looking to really capitalize and kind of hopefully break through into that individual state tournament this year. 138 is going to be Ashton Seifert. He's got his family has a legacy of wrestling and just a very good athlete. He's a 3-sport athlete and just very talented in wrestling. Excited to get him into the lineup. He's had a lot of success in youth. So even as a freshman at 138, I think he's going to have a lot of success this year. 144 is probably the weight with the most competition. We got three kids kind of fighting it out to figure out who's going to be the starter week in and week out. One is a returning starter from last year in Dylan Hahn. Another one is a senior in AJ Sweeney. He was a transfer to our school as a junior, played football the last 2 years, had a really bad injury last year in football, so he couldn't wrestle, but getting him back on the mat this year. And then sophomore, Ryland Burwitz. He was actually a 120 last year, but gained a lot of weight and showed a ton of improvement. So those three are going to be battling it out for probably the rest of the season to see who's starting there week in and week out. And then we really hit the stride of our lineup at 150. We have Easton Warden. He's a junior, 130 matches for us last year. 157, we have Landon Groh. He'll be a sophomore this year. 130 matches as a freshman at 138. Just a fantastic wrestler. 165, we actually have a transfer student, Colton Schultz, local kid, just going to a private school last year and decided to stay closer to home. But he was just short of being a state qualifier last year in his freshman year at 160. And then between 65 and 75, we'll also be throwing in Odin Nico, who's actually one of our wrestlers that we get from Wayland Academy. Has wrestled most of his life, very knowledgeable about the sport, very good athlete. And then Brock Mullenbach, who was a starter for us last year, won 30 matches last year, just another quality wrestler. And then 190, Mason Groh, another kid, the 2-year sectional qualifier. He's going to be, looking to kick down the door to qualify for a state tournament. 215, we're going to be kind of bouncing around here a bit at the beginning. But I think eventually it's going to end up with Gavin Vitens, who won 30 matches for us last year as a sophomore, so he'll be a junior this year. And then rounding it out at 285, you got Michael Kaberline, who's a sophomore, won 20-some matches last year as a freshman at 220. So when you're winning 20-some matches as a freshman at 220, you're put together pretty well and understand the sport pretty well. So be excited to see him grow a little bit and see what it's like tussling with the big boys.
Coach, obviously Gabe Klatt would have been a state championship contender this year. Has he still been kind of involved in the program, after he had that football injury?
Yeah, we're still getting him in the room every week or so, just all of the vast knowledge that he has. It's just such a, heart-wrenching story. The kid makes it to the state finals a sophomore year and never gets to wrestle another match because, two terrible knee injuries. But I still joke with him, holding out hope that we qualify for team state. Maybe he can wrestle down there. But I think he's first passion is football, and really hoping him just to be able to share his knowledge of wrestling with everybody on the team and keep involved with what's going to be a pretty exciting season.
Coach, conference-wise this year, obviously expectations, to be a contender and win a conference championship and then see what happens in the postseason. But what does the league look like this year?
Well, if anyone looks past Milton, they're in any year, they're missing the history of that program. Milton still has a number of state qualifier and state title contenders on that team. So anytime you have those kids in your room, you're going to get competition in the room and, bring everybody else closer to that level. So Milton's always that front runner. Watertown was right neck and neck with us and Milton last year. And I think they're going to be at the top two. Maybe don't have the big names that some of the other schools have, but they just have quality wrestlers throughout their lineup. And they're going to be tough to compete with for anyone because they do have a good dual team, in my opinion. And I think those are probably between us, Watertown, and Milton. That's probably the top three in the conference, and maybe drops off a little bit after that. But anytime you're wrestling in the Badger Conference, you can't take anything for granted. All these teams are Division I schools with quality athletes, so you got to make sure you're paying attention and looking over the lineup, make sure you're not overlooking anyone or any adjustments you can make to make sure you're coming out on top.
Well, Coach Tim Winker, I appreciate the time. It's going to be fun watching the Golden Beavers this season. We'll get as many of the matches as we can on Daily Dodge TV. Thanks for the time.
Yep, and it's alumni night, so anyone missing that was a former graduate and wrestler, feel free to come on out.
Hi, this is Sandy from McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. We are proud to support all Beaver Dam athletes. While at home watching high school sports, why not be comfortable? McKinstry's is a lazy boy comfort studio. We have sofas, recliners, sectionals, and reclining sofas. Stop into McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam and add comfort to your home.
Year after year, McKinstry's.
When it comes to a winning lineup, turn to the selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam. Their team goes the extra mile to provide a winning experience, from hassle-free financing options to exceptional customer service. It's like having a dedicated cheering section cheering you on in every step of the vehicle purchase. Give the team at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam a call at 920-885-3301 or visit napleton151.com and find new roads with their winning inventory.
In today's financial markets, you will find all your needs met at Park Village Shopping Center. Time is right for a home equity line of credit. The folks at Horicon Bank can make those home remodel dreams a reality. Searching for sound financial advice? Kevin Smith of Edward Jones will help you make sense of your investments. Kevin knows the market inside and out. Knightberry Title meets all your title needs, from commercial to residential. The team at Knightberry is your partner for success. This is why you hear people say, I shop Park Village Shopping Center. You should too.
Park Village Shopping Center.
15% off the most awarded SUV ever, the 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee and Grand Cherokee L at Reed Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Beaver Dam. Hello, this is Brent Reed, and this deal is so good, I've got to say it again. 15% off brand new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokees during the Black Friday sales event. That's over $10,000 in savings on select models. This is going to be a Black Friday like no other. Let our family take care of your family at Reed Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Beaver Dam and ReedChrysler.com.
Hi, I'm Josh Schneider with Silica for Your Home. We have a great feature available in our showrooms, our digital price tags. They search the internet every day and allow us to adjust the prices based on our competitors. That ensures you are always getting the best deal. If it finds a lower price, it will automatically change our Silica price in real time. These digital price tags are all about saving you time and money. Shop Silica for Your Home for the best sales, service, and selection.
Hey, it's Stacy with Slumberland, Beaver Dam in Watertown. Stop in and see everything that our store has to offer. We built it just for you. We have mattresses, box springs, power bases, bedroom sets, furniture, living room sets, dining sets, everything that you would need to complete your entire home. We've got our interest-free financing and a really great local staff here to help you. So you've got all local people here to help you out from start to finish for anything that you would need. So stop in, shop local, and save big with us.
At Summit Ford Beaver Dam, we are committed to serving the customers in our community, to bringing you into our dealership and making the buying process easy, fun, stress-free, and memorable. Thank you for choosing us and voting us Dodge County's best place to buy a new or used vehicle. Stop in today for a test drive and to see how we can help you find the car of your dreams. Summit Ford Beaver Dam.
The comfort in your home is too important to trust to just anyone. With over 75 years in the industry, Surefire Heating and Air Conditioning is proud to bring our community the heating and cooling services you deserve. Expect nothing short of excellence in service, installation, and 24/7 emergency service. As a premier Lennox dealer, we carry the best in equipment to bring you and your home peace of mind. Schedule your annual maintenance or claim your free in-home estimate today, 920-485-4883. Surefire, keeping what's important comfortable since 1947.
You're watching the Daily Dodge pregame show.
And welcome back on Daily Dodge TV. Justin the Ninja Wilski here with Activities Athletic Director. Apparently they're interchangeable, Ryan Gerber. We want to remind you, of course, that our broadcast today brought to you by Hometown Glass and Improvement, Columbus Family Dental, and the Beaver Dam Unified School District. Be sure to stay up to date with Beaver Dam Unified School District at bdusd.org and follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Beaver Dam USD. Now, Ryan, during the break, we got to watch some of the alumni activities, and now we're in the full swing of things.
Yeah, here we go. Here they come.
I always love the pomp and circumstance of the entrance.
This right here, this is their mat. This is, a lot of sports they talk about, football talks about ring the bell. A lot of places talk about this is their house. When you're a head coach and you're coaching these guys up, the one thing you teach is that's their mat. This is your mat, and you own that. Don't let anybody come in here and take your mat away. And so this part here, yeah, it's a little bit of theatrics, but it really is setting the tone. This is our mat, this is our place, and we're going to dominate tonight.
Now, I know when they talk about sports, they always say that there's a huge chunk of it that's physical. There's a huge chunk of it that's mental. How much of wrestling do you think is that mental preparation coming in?
Yeah, wrestling, you obviously see the physical part, and wrestlers are going to work out as hard as anybody and put their bodies through as much as anybody. They're going to be in the best shape of anybody. That being said, wrestling is a completely, totally 90% mental. As I was just down at by the bench talking to coach, they're thinking about matchups for tonight and wrestlers, whether they wrestle at this weight or that weight. And so for a lot of kids, getting that through their head and being okay with that is a huge part of it. Going out and wrestling a guy that may be better than them or they perceive as better than them is a huge hurdle. Unlike a team sport where you can rely on 4 other guys on the court with you or 10 other players on the field with you or whatnot for whatever sport, when you go out there and compete in wrestling, it's all about you and you by your alone. And I say that it takes a team. You need great partners in the room. You need good teammates. But when you go out and compete, it's all about you versus that other person across a stripe from you. So it is very physical. But yeah, if you don't have the mental piece to it, you're going to struggle. I've coached a lot of really great athletes, guys that were really great wrestlers, but that one piece they were missing was that inner confidence, that mental part, and it held them back a little bit. On the flip side, I've had kids that maybe weren't the best athlete or the greatest wrestler, but they believed in themselves. They weren't going to be outworked by anybody, and they went out and won matches that nobody thought they would. And so again, you can have guys that work out like crazy. You can have all the muscles in the world. You can have that six-pack. You can be in the best shape. But if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't think you can go out and win, it's going to be tough to win those big, tough matchups.
Now, I imagine for the coaches, it can be a little bit of a mental chess match as well. If you've got a kid who maybe wrestles really, really well, maybe there's a lot of competition at his weight class within your own team, you might feel bumping him up might give him the confidence to perform better at a higher weight class.
It's tough. You got to know your kids. And I, as a young coach, I struggled with that, is how you work that in. As a head coach in wrestling, you have to be one part workout fiend, one part strategist, one part recruiter, one part, scouter, but you also have to be a psychologist out there, and you have to work with your own kids. And there's going to be ups and downs this year. There are going to be times when guys are as high as they can be or as low as they can be, and you got to pull those kids back to that middle and keep everybody even. So it's a tough job as a wrestling coach, and I got to say, maybe the hardest job of all is being that wrestling coach's spouse, because you're seeing it all, and you have to be that psychologist for the head coach. So shout out to my wife, who put up with that for a long time and helped me get through the highest of the highs and the lowest of lows, and always kept me even and kept me back. And by the way, she's allowing me to come and do this and be an athletic director up here. So shout out to her.
Well, we definitely appreciate that. We appreciate you being here tonight. I want to touch on something that I remember you mentioning last year when you covered this for us, which was how much wrestling can have an impact on other sports at the high school. A lot of these students are multi-sport athletes, football being a big one. And you were telling us how much this can have an impact on their performance there.
Right. So, the big sport, of course, across the country, in Wisconsin, across the country, is football. That's got the biggest participation rates. And you hear kids talking about, well, I want to get big for football, or football's my main love. Well, I tell you what, if you want to be involved at the next level, you got to be a multi-sport athlete. But if you're going to be a running back, you're going to be a linebacker, you're going to be an offense or defensive lineman, they're looking for wrestlers. And for us here in Wisconsin, if you're looking at the Badgers and you're looking at upcoming recruiting, there's been a lot of time talking about Luke Fickle and his connection to wrestling and how strong he was. But you look at some of the recruits that are coming in, they got a 4-star running back coming in, Dylan Jones out of Maryland, who, when asked, hey, your season's over, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to go back to wrestling. They said, why? He said, because I'm going to work on my footwork, I'm going to work on my balance, I'm going to work on my leverage, and I got to get tougher. I'm going to the Big Ten. And so wrestling and football go hand in hand. I know I've talked at length to Coach Lindy. Shout out to Coach Lindy, who I'm sure is watching this. I tell the football kids, I used to do this as a coach, I continue to do this as the AD now, you want to get better for football? Come out for wrestling, because we teach tackling all year long, all winter long. So, where a baseball kid can get in the cage in the off season, football guys, hey, we're going to teach you how to tackle, and we're going to teach you to be mean and physical and wrestle with leverage. and compete, and they're going to do that. And you look at this Golden Beaver lineup, tons of football players up and down that lineup. Not to say that we won't take athletes from other sports.
Right.
Now, I do want to say one thing before we get to the first matchup.
Yeah.
You're going to be watching the match tonight. You're going to see the guy in stripes out there. Everyone has their opinions on how the reffing goes tonight. I got to tell you what, we need officials in this state, across the country, but we're in desperate need of officials. If you think that you could do this or you think you can do better, give me a call. Come on into the high school. I'll get you signed up to be an official. We need more officials. We cannot have dual meets like this or tournaments like we're going to have this weekend without officials. They're just as key and vital as the athletes out there. So, hey, come and help us. Come be part of this sport. Come help us grow the sport by being an official.
And it looks like we're about to have our first match here, weight class 132.
Yep, and for those of you that were paying attention last year to us or past wrestlers, there was a weight class change this year, so you'll see that as we go on. But we're opening up the matchup 132. Avery Femrite out there, junior. Last year he had a 37-11 record. Was a sectional qualifier at 126, so he's up a few pounds. Not a terrible amount, but he had a really nice season last year. He's a kid that this team is going to need to have a big season this year. Did some real nice things for him last year as a sophomore. He was one of those underclassmen wrestlers who really took the bull by the horns. Now, we got a nice shot by the MG wrestler here. We're on a sprawl here. You can see Avery's getting out front, getting his hips low. What that does is puts all the weight and all the pressure on that MG wrestler's back of their neck and upper back, and that's heavy, heavy, heavy. You know, he's not in a position of power, and that's what Avery got there. We got a stalemate there because no wrestler was able to move forward or advance their position. Avery on a nice shot right off the whistle. Gets a 2-point takedown there. A lot of times when you've got a nice shot like he does, you want to get to that shot right away, right off that whistle. He's riding on top, nice and tight here. He's keeping his hips high and pressured down on this wrestler, forcing this wrestler to really have to work on the bottom. You can see he's working those wrists, trying to get that arm out, but the bottom wrestler's doing a real nice job working up to a base. There's a lot of pressure here, Ninja. See that right shoulder, he's keeping that right shoulder in the top of the bottom wrestler's back. That puts all your weight and pressure on that kid, forcing him down. You can see the kid's trying to come up. He just can't. There's just too much pressure on him. Now we come out back, and now we're giving him a little bit of an opening here. We've got to watch our spot. We've got a cross face on the far side. We've got it hooked up here. We don't want to go out of bounds, and we ran out of time there.
Now, I did see that he actually literally dragged him kind of back into the ring.
Yep. So the rules have changed. We've gone to a little bit more of a college-style wrestling where we allow the action to happen outside of that circle as long as there are 2 points of either wrestler in the inside. So it allows for a little bit more action on the side of the mat. So just because in the past, if you're watching this, you might say, well, geez, they're out of bounds. That was out of bounds when I wrestled. Well, we've adapted to more of a collegiate style to allow for more action on the side of the mat. You can see here the Fort wrestler, he chose down position, and for this reason. So he had choice in the second period. He chooses down. He got an escape here, so there's no control. That's worth 1 point, so we're up 3-0. And they're still kind of feeling each other out here. I'd like to see a little bit more action. What I don't like to see is hands on knees this early in the match, but it is early in the season. Conditioning still needs to get there. I'd like to see him more on the attack here. Get his feet moving, get his hands moving. Those are things that as the season progresses, you're going to see a little bit more of. But right now, this is too easy. Like, we're flat-footed here. We're standing and waiting. It's really tough to score or get on the offense. So I'd like to see him open this up and get a little bit more action. As for the MG kid, he's circling, but he's giving up wrist control here. He's down 3-0. He's circling, but he also needs to get on the attacks. Again, some level changes, some foot attacks, some hand attacks. We got to get aggressive. So again, we're under a minute here. We're about 36 seconds left. We got the escape, but I'd really like to see him on the offense here. And I'm sure this is something Coach Newberger and Coach Winker will be talking to him after the match is, hey, you got an escape. You had all sorts of time on the clock, but we really need to get back on the attack. And again, you don't know at this point where his conditioning's at. You know, we've only been going for a little bit. I know there's a lot of sickness going on around the schools or in every school right now, but this is one of those things, as we continue on, we need to be more aggressive. Got to get on the offense.
It does seem like they're both trying to kind of vie for position in the ring, but not so much making any moves.
And, you know, you can circle all you want, but if you're not going to get to a level change, if you're not going to force the issue, you're not going to score. And this sport is about scoring points. The MG wrestler had third choice in third period. He chose neutral. He got in on a shot. So this is exactly what wasn't happening for much of the second period. Neither guy was getting on the offense here. He took a shot. Avery was able to get his hips squared to him and get into a lock here. You can see Avery's on a knee here. He needs to get that leg back a little bit. He's trying to hook this ankle. And that you see what he did there. He took that ankle and pried it away, and that took all the strength from that kid away. Now he's on a hip. This is a bad position if you're an MG. You never want to be laying on a hip here. The ref's going to call for stalemate. I don't know. I would have liked to seen that continue to go a little bit further. I think we had an opportunity to score there, but back to neutral, no scoring there. Again, MG, you know, you're down 3. You need to get on the gas here. You need to get moving here. Fem right back, you know, he's keeping his hands. He's keeping his hands up, and that's good. That's going to help him with defense. He's trying to tie up that wrist. Takes a shot there from distance. Wasn't the best shot. Again, hands on knees here. A little flat-footed here. So this is a match where we want to, you know, we're going to look back at later in the season and say, you know, this is an area we can improve at, because I know he's got it. He's a good wrestler. He was just, you know, won 37 matches last year. There's some opportunities to score here.
Just a little over 30 seconds left.
And so this is the frustrating part if you're on the MG side of things. You know, you're down 3, and you haven't made really more than one attempt to score. And that's where the stalling call, the official you saw made a fist and put it up in the air. That's a stall warning. And he's saying that red, in this case, Monona Grove wasn't making an attempt to actively participate, actively attack. He was just kind of defending and walking away. And then before the whistle happened, Avery took a shot in, tried to time that whistle. That's a caution. It's a restart. He gets another one of those. That'll be a point the other direction. But again, Avery can still attack. I know some people say, well, why would you attack here? You know, he's really dominating this match. When he's taking shots, he's taking good shots. Again, we'll chalk this up to early season wrestling for both wrestlers. But the most important thing is he's going to get a win here. The Golden Beavers are going to get 3 team points on the board. And first win in the book for the season. Nice job, Avery.
Now wrestling at 138 for the Golden Beavers, Ashton Seifert.
All right, so last year, one of the things I talked about over and over and over. One of the things I talked about over and over and over last year for this Golden Beaver team is how young they were. They had a slew of freshmen and sophomores in the lineup. Well, here we go again. Ashton Seifert, he's a freshman joining this team, and in his first high school dual meet is breaking the varsity lineup. He's going to take on Austin Nichols, who's a junior from Monona Grove. Nichols was a 16-13 wrestler last year, was a sectional qualifier. So he's also up a little bit of weight. Looks like he spent a little bit of time in the weight room. Seifert's one of these guys we're looking for, guys that are my age or a little bit older. He just has the look of a wrestler. I happened to be in the wrestling room, and I saw this kid with the bleach blonde hair, and I'm thinking, boy, that's a throwback. And look at this. Kid's in on a shot. Seifert's got a front headlock hooked, but he's really got to get the head down, and the kid from Nichols is able to lift him here. So what happened there was Seifert was in on a front headlock, but he allowed that kid's head to come up. And it's no different than tackling. If you're talking football, if your head's up, you're going to be able to tackle. If your head's down, you're not going to. In this case, we were defending a shot. We didn't get his head down. That allowed for Nichols to get his legs under him and get the takedown. So Nichols is up 2-0 here. Seifert looks like he's tried a little bit of a switch action, a little sit-out action. We got to get back to that. We got to get a little movement going on here. Nichols is doing a nice job on top already, getting wrist control, again, controlling pressure on top, keeping a weight forward. He looks like he's trying to get a high half there, which means he's threaded his arm under our arm there and trying to get to the back of the neck, back of the head. Oh, he tried to tilt there. Tried to tilt there, a cross arm tilt there, and fell off. It wasn't tight, and that allowed us to get an escape here. So it's 2-1.
Looks like a bit of different energy this particular match compared to the last one.
Yeah, so, Nichols being a junior, and look, he looks like he's put some time in the offseason getting ready for the season. He was a sectional qualifier last year, so this is important. He gets a takedown, and we reverse on a switch. Seifert was showing that on the last takedown, looking for a switch. Now he's throwing legs in there, throwing boots in, trying to get control of those legs. This is something as a coach, I really struggled with our guys teaching legs simply because a lot of guys get too high up on the head and fall off. But Seifert's a nice, tall wrestler. Looks like that's something that he's been coached before and part of his arsenal. We're going neutral again here. I didn't see who had choice there. But we're going neutral here, so looking for takedowns, which is fun wrestling. If both guys are active, neutral wrestling is fun wrestling here. Nice a shot on by Monona Grove. We're back in that front headlock position. So this time he's keeping that head lower. He's got to keep that head low. You see Nichols is controlling that elbow, which is going to make it very difficult for Seifert to move around. He does have a leg. It looks like he's got the leg. There it is, cradle. He's got to get his hips a little lower. He's a little high. You can see Nichols. He's got to reload here. Reload, get his hips over the top. It's a little high. Our body is way too high. You can see how loose we are over the top. His chest has to be directly over. He's readjusting here. He's got a leg hooked now. He's still a little bit too high. He's getting near fall. 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 3 near fall. That's coming. Now you go for the pin. Just a little loose there, but he is getting near fall points because we broke the plane, the 45-degree plane. Now we're back into a new lock with a leg and a crossface. We're trying to get the turn for more near fall. This is the best leg ride I've ever seen in the country. This is just a leg turn. It's very safe. We're staying on top. We're taking the bottom man's legs out of it. He can't turn his body down. So now all he's got is his upper body. You can see we can just kind of torque on it with this crossface. 2 more near fall points coming. He's got the same lock. Ref's going to allow him to try to get to 3 before he gives points. He's got to elevate that leg. He's got that leg hooked, but he's knee on the mat. We got to lift that leg. That'll help turn the body. We're still a little higher than we want to be, and now we're going kind of with a butcher, but time ran out. 3 more near falls, so 11-4 going in the third period, and it's going to be our choice. Coach Winker's going to send him down. So just as a review, match points, match scores, if you win by 7 or less, worth 3 team points. 8-14 are worth 4 points. You win by 15, it's a tech fall, that's worth 5, and a pin's worth 6. So looking for team points here. He had a cradle, look like. He's got the ankle hooked, he's got a cross face. Ref's going to give him the reversal there. We are now in control, and now he's broken him down. He's got a cradle. He's got his leg stuck there. Now it's unhooked. So again, 13-4. So he's got the major decision right now, but he's looking for more points. And of course, if he can get the shoulders turned and get a pin, that's even better. You got to be happy with how he's wrestled here, coming out as a freshman. I know he's got some experience. I know he's not totally green. He's wrestled for AWA the last couple of years and been a 2-time team state qualifier last year in the youth ranks. So definitely not a green wrestler by any means. He's an experienced kid, but you never know what's going to happen with a freshman getting on the mat under the spotlight for the first time, especially against an upperclassman. And I would say with 45 seconds left, Mr. Seifert's had a pretty nice debut. He's got a cradle locked up. This is a great place to finish out your 30 seconds left in the match.
I imagine the coaches are going to be pretty happy with this.
Oh, yeah. So one of the things I did when I was a coach, anytime a kid got his first varsity win, that was a big deal. You know, you only get one opportunity for those, and to get that, especially here at home under the lights in front of the big crowd, in front of the alumni, this is pretty special. And we're just going to stay there. So 5 seconds winding down, 13-4. Congratulations, Ashton Seifert. Varsity win, high school win, number 1.
For 13-4 for the Golden Beavers, Ashton Seifert.
And while we have a moment to do so, we're going to take a quick 30-second break. We'll be right back. Daily Dodge TV and 1430 WBEV.
At Preferred Dental Partners, our core values are more than just something we put on our wall. They're something we live out. Core value number 2 is the wow experience. This means that from the moment you walk in the door until the time you leave, we want to provide an experience for our patients that is unlike anything you've had before. There are lots of choices of dentists, and we never want anyone to feel they have to be here. We want them to choose to be here because they feel heard, welcomed, and well cared for. If you want to see what the wow experience is about, call or text Preferred Dental Partners today.
And welcome back. They got right into this match very quick.
Yeah, Ryland Burwitz is another wrestler who logged a lot of matches last year. Was a nice contributor for the team. He's up to 144 this year, and for those keeping score at home, this is your first major weight class change of the season. 145 is gone. We're at 144. He's got Gavin Sparks, who was down at 138 last year. Burwitz is on his hip. You know, you don't want to be here. The MG wrestler's got a loose arm bar. He's way too high on this, but it looks like he's got an arm bar and a tight waist. He's going to horse him over. Now he's going to keep that arm across the back and look for a farmer's here. You can see he's got the arm across the back. He's trying to thread his arm through, and he wasn't able to hold on there. The MG wrestler's doing a real nice job providing pressure on top. We've got to get our hips out. Pick a side, get our hips out. That's what we're doing here. Now we need a knee slide. Slide that right knee forward. Slide the right knee forward. There it is. See, that knee slide creates separation. Had we not gone off mat, that knee slide would have created enough separation to get to a stand-up and try to get back to neutral position.
Now, I guess my stupid question this time around is a change from 145 to 144. If somebody's listening at home, they might say, that's only a pound. Yeah. What difference does a pound make?
Well, in this case, it doesn't make a whole ton of sense unless you're the guy cutting weight to get there. So what happened was a few years ago, the National Federation came back and said, like, we're going to give each state association an opportunity to pick their weight classes, whether they want 12 weight classes, 13 weight classes, or 14 weight classes. They said, though, if whatever you pick here, the weight class they're going to be in, those are based on national averages across the country, based on the size of boys in high school. The state of Wisconsin picked 14 weight classes, so this is what you're going to have. So, yeah, Ninja, you're right. 1 pound, what difference does that make? Well, again, if you're cutting weight, it makes a little bit of difference. We just got caught up here. We got caught in bad position here. We're locked up. This is a tough spot, but it's also a hard spot to get pinned, and he was able to keep off his back to get out of the first period. 5-0 MG going into the second period. He's going to defer. Ryland's going to get choice. We're going to go neutral here. So we got to see that same energy off the whistle here by both wrestlers. There's a shot. It wasn't a setup, but he got to the legs. He's got to stay off his hips, so he was in decent position there. He got a little bit wild there, started getting turned, and that's why we ended up on our hips. Give credit to the MG wrestler. He was able to get his hips turned like we were talking earlier in the Fem Right match. But anytime you're laying on your hips with your hands locked around a leg, it's not a good spot, and that's where the takedown came in. Now top wrestler's got a leg wrestler. He's got his leg in there. It's hooked around the body legally. And now he's looking for near fall points. He's back to that arm bar. He's prying back the face there, trying to get the shoulders to break the plane 45, and they have, so that's why the near fall is being counted. Top wrestler's actually doing a really nice job. He's kept that arm bar, and this is something we've seen a few times now early in the dual meet. Monona Grove leg riding and arm bar, so it's something that hopefully the guys on the sideline for Beaver Dam are paying attention to. And right there, if you know me as a coach, that right there is why I was not a big fan of leg riding. He had all the control, he had all the pressure, and he got loose with him, got out of position, and gave up a reversal, and now he's laying on his back, or laying on his hips. Yeah, that's an illegal move. So what happened there is we were reaching back, taking the ankle, and pulling that up the body, up against the spine, towards the head. That's a potentially dangerous, and that's going to get a stoppage every time. But good thing here is we got the reversal. We're on top. Now we're down 10-2 with 25 seconds left. We need to get some back points here. We got an arm bar. Got an arm bar. See if he can run this quick to get some near fall points. He was able to get him turned. He let him come up high. He stayed with it, got him turned, but again fell out of position. And you got to hold on to that ankle, man. Got to hold on to that ankle, prevent the reversal late in the match. Hold on to that ankle, hold on to that leg. Hold on to that leg. Oh, he let it go at the end. The ref's going to award loss of control there. Neutral. 1 point. Boy, that's tough. And I know as a wrestler, you're not necessarily watching the clock, but that's tough giving up a point with a second left on the clock. So third period here, Beaver Dam's down 11-2, 2 minutes to find something. And the bottom wrestler stood up and ran right off the mat.
Now, is that an actual tactic to just try and get out of there?
Well, so what wrestlers are trained is they're going to try to stand up and they're going to try to get away, literally get away. As I used to tell my wrestlers, guys, there's a reason why the circles on the mat are circles. It means you run in a circle, not straight. So that would always drive me nuts as a coach, is when we would take all that effort to stand up, get to our feet, and then run right off the mat. That's tough. That being said, we just ran him right off the mat too. We got to return him because we need back points and probably a pin here. Down 9 with a minute 40 left. See if Riley can get back to, get back to that arm bar. We do need to get him flat. We had success with the arm bar, but we got to keep him flat. We got to keep our weight on. He's got a high half running from behind. Again, we got to keep him flat. And we're in trouble here. Our hips are too high. We're going to our back. That position there, we never want our hips up high like that. That's a classic position to get turned there. So MG wrestler did what he was supposed to do in that spot. Unfortunately for the Golden Beavers, they ended up in a pin.
Joel Carter. Now wrestling for Golden Beavers at 150, Easton Warden. Silver Spartans, Xavier Denman.
All right, so our next change in weight classes. Gone are the days of 152. We're at 150. Again, does it make that big of a difference? Probably not, unless you're the guy cutting weight to get there. But we're 150 pounds here. Easton Warden, no stranger to this weight class, wrestled 152 last year, had a 33-16 overall record last year as a 52-pounder, and was a sectional champion. You see he's coming right at him. He's got a double underhook there, and he tried to kind of horse him over. Easton's a tall kid with long arms here. A lot of opportunities for us to get like a shot like this. He can take a drop down shot like that, get his hands on legs because he's long there. He's got to watch out, not pressure in too much. This kid's got a lap position, even from there. Easton's doing a nice job staying in good position. We're going to go off the mat. We're going to go back to neutral position. Team scores right now, Beaver Dam 7, MG 6. Minute 13 left in this first period. Like to see Easton get on a shot. Oh, Denman there with a duck under that he didn't get all the way around. And Warden, he countered, stayed in good position. It's all about good position. Again, whether you're an offensive wrestler or defensive wrestler, you want to stay in good position, keeping your hips underneath you, keeping your hips square, and that's where Warden was able to take the advantage there. He's doing a nice job keeping his opponent flat on the mat, and look, there we go. We got an arm bar on the left-hand side there. Got an arm bar and a tight waist. A number of things that could happen there. Looks like he's trying to run it across. He's got to run towards that shoulder. He's going to run around the head. You really got to get him flat here. We're getting a little bit too high, but he is going to get the turn. That comes down to strength there. That's tough on that shoulder. That kid's shoulder's going to be sore tomorrow. We're laying right on that shoulder that we arm barred there, and you can see Warden's hips are a little bit off the mat. We got to get our hips down. The reason that wasn't a pin is Denman was able to keep his hips turned. That twisted the body just enough to keep that shoulder up. But nevertheless, we'll take the 3 near fall, 5-0 going in the second period. Beavers deferred, and MG is going to choose neutral. So I'd like to see Easton get right back on the attack here. You got 5. That's excellent. You want to be, I prefer 6-2, but 5-0's not too darn bad after the first.
Right.
Like to see him get right back on the offense. A takedown here and a long right out probably seals some fate here. But you gotta be thinking offensive, but at the same time, it's the first duel of the season.
Now, it's interesting how you talk about the technique that they have to go through, whether they're offensive, defensive wrestler. But if your technique is not on and you leave an opening, it's amazing how quick this just turns around on you.
Right, so you look at what Easton's got right now. He's got an underhook on the left-hand side. He's looking for a cow catcher kind of deal here with a front headlock and underhook. And I tell you, as he wrestles tomorrow, that's probably not going to be there as much. He's going to have to go more to a snap-down position there and work the front headlock, but he was able to make it work there. Difference between an offensive and defensive wrestler, it's all about position and where your hips are. You don't have to go out and put 20 points on the board every night. You can win matches 1-0, and a lot of the old school guys, that's how they did it. They won 1-0 or 2-1. It's about being in position and being tough. But you can't give up underhooks. You can't have your head low. You can't be flat-footed. All these things matter. I would equate it to this. If you're playing linebacker on Friday night and you're flat-footed, you're probably not going to get to the tackle or you're going to get blown up. If you're playing offensive line and you're looking down at the grass, defensive lineman's probably going to go blow right past you. Again, it's positioning specific to the sport, but it isn't all that much different than playing football or any of the other contact sports. You got to be in good position, you got to have your feet moving, you got to have your hips right. So we do not have our hips in a good position. Our hips in this position need to be up a lot higher than what they are. We're falling off. We do have a half Nelson here, but I tell you what, this is tough. A lot of times officials stop that because of the torque on the shoulder. The shoulder gets too far. You really got to be careful, and that's why we need to constantly keep our hips moving to the higher position, not falling off the side there. It's going to be our Beaver choice here. We're going to choose down. Obviously, with the score being 7-0 going into the third period, an escape here gets to 8, and that puts us into a major victory situation. So that's the thinking behind here. Classically speaking, if you get choice in the second period, you want to defer to the third. No different than football. You want the ball in the second half.
Right.
And then you typically choose down, try to get away unless you're not very strong down there. Or if you're a really strong takedown guy, then you choose neutral and you don't care. We chose down there to try to get this escape point unfortunately for us, Denman threw it in his legs, and he's working on it. So Warden's going to have to find a way to clear that leg. And for me as a coach, having a 7-point lead in the third, my thing is let's not get turned here. Now there was a stalemate called because both wrestlers were kind of stuck and they weren't advancing any further. That's a gift because it gets us a restart. Leg is out. Now we got to get to our feet, and we got to have a move off the mat. We got to come off a little bit stronger than that to get that extra point. So at this point, what you can see, Easton's kind of reaching back there. He's looking for wrist control. He caught Denman's leg there. You see that. Denman threw a leg. He didn't have Warden broken down. He kind of threw a leg in. We caught it. He's been able to recover, but I can tell you that he's not going to score points here. We got to get our hips turned a little bit. He's in a bad spot. He's in a bad position. As a coach, if I'm the MG coach, I'm hoping for the best here to try to get a stalemate here. We used to teach our kid, if you get in that position, grab your own ankle, you'll get to a stalemate and a restart. Warden's doing a great job here. He's got his hips turned. He pulled that leg over the top of his head. That took the leverage off. Now he's looking for a reversal, which he gets. He's up 9-0 with 25 ticks left. We need a ride out here. Oh, we're looking for a defensive pin. We got to stay off her back here. We got to stay off her back. We got caught napping. Got to get our hips up. See, Ninja, this is why I wasn't a big fan of leg riding. That kind of stuff happens. In what you saw, they got into this crab ride. The kid from MG tried the same thing. Got into that crab ride position where their butts are both on the mat. He reached back, grabbed our head, and just threw his body back. That could have been a defensive pin. We could have gotten pinned up 9 points. So thankfully, we were able to scramble out of that position.
And we do remind everybody that you are watching on Daily Dodge TV. This is Varsity Wrestling, Beaver Dam versus Monona Grove McFarland. Brought to you by Hometown Glass and Improvement, Columbus Family Dental, and the Beaver Dam Unified School District. Also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings, Klidowski Real Estate, Slumberland, Silica for your home, Summit Ford, Beaver Dam Mayville Tire and Service, Surefire, Richards Insurance, Reed Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Park Village Shopping Center, Preferred Dental Partners, Jerry's Automotive, Air Care, Napleton, and White Construction.
All right, so one more change in weights. We are at 157. You're watching Landon Grow of Beaver Dam. Landon is a sophomore, so he started his high school career off under the mat lamp last year, and I remember him getting a win last year here at home. And he caught that kid. He just kept his hips moving, and that was pure strength. Just took that kid right to the mat, but he's got the head hooked and kept his hips high. Anytime you get a kid on his back, you want to get your hips low. That extends your weight and makes it harder to get rolled. He kept his hips high, and that's why a kid from MG was able to roll through. Landon, by the way, was 38-13 last year. He wrestled all the way down at 138, so he's put on some pounds. And it looks like he's put on a lot of muscle. He was a sectional qualifier, took 4th at the sectional last year. So Landon had a really nice freshman campaign. Obviously, anytime as a freshman you win 38 varsity matches, that's saying something, especially in the Badger Conference and the competition that this team sees. You know, this will be a kid that hopefully stays healthy throughout his career and can push for 100 wins or more. That should definitely be in. And again, you just look at Landon. He's comfortable out there. He just turned in, took advantage of the other kid's bad position and just kind of out-muscled, out-meaned him. And I know that isn't a word, right? It's not an official word. Coach Lindy, as an English teacher, is going to have to excuse me. But he just out-meaned him. Out-meaned him.
I think I like that terminology, and you can really see the amount of energy he was putting into it. He was in constant motion.
Odin, Nico, and for the Silver Spartans, Dominic Hyatt.
All right, so Odin Nico's going to be out here. He had time in and out of the varsity lineup last year. He's going to be taking on Dominic Hyatt, who's a senior, who was 11-17 last year. Hyatt was down at 145, so he's up at 165 now. So he's done some things to get stronger. Nico here is a junior. He's one of our wrestlers that comes over to compete on our team from Wayland Academy. So, and we're happy to have those guys help our team and help contribute to our program. Hyatt last year was in the varsity lineup at the conference tournament. He finished 8th at the conference tournament. Don't sleep on Nico here. Again, he had varsity experience last year. He's in that room that only lost one conference dual meet last year, so he's in there scrapping and fighting every night. So he's, another a good, strong member of this Golden Beaver staff. And what I really like there is look at his nice stand-up. I know he didn't complete it, but right off the whistle, he's come up to his feet. He's not sitting down there. He's not wasting time. He's coming right to his feet. There's a locked hands on the MG wrestler. If you're in the top position and control, you cannot lock your hands unless you're in a pinning combination. We're going to get a point, but we're also going to get a reversal and these near fall. Odin's got to get this half. He's got to stay on the high part of the head, on the round part of the head, not the neck, but the round part of the head. But we let this kid get to his knees. We got to keep his weight down. If he was able to keep the kid's weight down with that half, he'd be able to take him over and get to a pin. So Nico's up 3-2. One of those is a reversal. Another is on the locked hands. We got 40 seconds left in the match. Let's see if he can get another turn here. It'd be nice to get some near fall here late in this period. MG wrestler's doing a nice job getting to his feet, and you can see got to his feet and quickly turned, get his hips around, try to get that escape on the edge of the mat. And that's exactly what you coach. That's exactly what you want out of your wrestler is get to your feet, get that turn. The only thing he did wrong there is instead of cutting through his elbow and finishing low, which would have been almost impossible for Nico to follow, he turned around and stayed high, which allowed Nico to just run him off the mat and get a refresh there. So again, if there's any youth kids out there that are watching this, replay that part on YouTube. You can do that after we're done here. Replay it. You want to cut through with that elbow like it's a butter knife. Cut right through, create separation between you and your opponent, and finish low. That way it's hard for the top wrestler to follow. That's the end of the first period. We're up 5-2 here, and we're going to have choice. You can see Coach Winker sent in the defer, so we're going to defer here. MG's got choice, and they're going neutral. Now, this is about the third or fourth kid that I've seen get the neutral signal from Coach on the sideline. So, obviously, MG is working on takedowns. That's the kind of team they want to be. They also, I think, have quite a bit of respect for the way we're riding. We're riding tough. Oh, kid from MG went for a lat drop there. Did not have it tight at all. I think he was just kind of a shock and awe kind of throw there. And you can see if you don't have a throw tight, you're going to your back, you're giving up points. So Nico's in control here, 9-2. But again, we've got an arm bar. He's got to run this. We don't have an arm bar tight enough. Our right fist needs to be in the back of this kid's, or the middle of this kid's back. There he's got to load it up a little bit better. Now right here, what he should be doing is taking his left arm here and pushing that kid's arm out. He's trying to get to the wrist, which he did. The kid brought it in for him. But anytime that kid's arm is straight out like that and is blocking you from turning him, just push that towards his ear. That's going to create a natural wedge, and you're going to take him right over. So just some little basic fundamental things. But what I do like here is he's riding really tough. He's got good wrist control. He's driving with his feet. Needs to get on his toes a little bit, but he's driving forward with his toes. He's keeping good pressure. He's fighting a good power half here. He's going to run that power half. We just got to keep better hip pressure. I've seen this a bunch of times tonight. We're letting guys get to their knees when we have whether it's a half or an arm bar. We got to do a little bit better job keeping our weight on them. Nice return. Nice return. And we've got things tight. Now there's that half. Now he's gotten out to the half right. He's got to sink his arm tighter. Get that arm a little bit tighter around that head. Everyone's yelling squeeze, the international get a pin call from every wrestling group in the country. Squeezing would only get you so far. He needs to get his chest on the chest. He needs to get out to 45 degrees. But he had a nice turn there. Really cinched that half up real nice.
Now, at this point, he's sitting at 12-2, so this is a major decision, if my memory serves.
Absolutely, major decision here. But, you know, the way he's riding on top and the ability to get turns. If I'm Coach Winker, yeah, we chose down here, and this kid chose legs. What did I say about legs? Now it's on the other team. We got loose. We sat through it pretty easy. Now we've got a half. Now we're in much better position here. We've got chest on chest. We got to take about a half step forward, which he did. Look, now we're out to 45, and a pin. Nice job, Nico.
Winning by fall for the Golden Beavers, Golden Nico.
Once he made that adjustment to get his weight back, chest to chest, out to 45, good things happen. So 6 points for the Golden Beavers on that one. They're up 23-6 as we go into 175. 175. So Colton Schultz, a sophomore, is going to be taking the mat for the Golden Beavers. He was a JV wrestler for us last year, and nice looking kid here. He's going to go out and compete here. Looks like there's something going on at the table. Usually the ref makes sure and verifies weights before they wrestle. The only thing I can think of, I don't have the weigh-in sheets, is whether he qualified for the weight, but obviously he does, so here we go. Oh, look at that now. He's coming right out of the gate. Give him a slap on the headgear, saying, "Hey, look at me. I'm here. I'm not scared of anything. Come get me." I like that. Just a little love tap there on the headgear.
They talk about head position, and I see a lot of times they're trying to push their opponent's head down.
Yeah.
And that seems to help quite a bit.
And again, it's no different than football, right? If our head is up, we're powerful. If our head is down, that's where our body goes. So with wrestling, where you want to take a person from their feet to the mat, get their head down, because that's where their body's going to go.
And I saw something there. The Beaver Dam wrestler dropped down like a frog and then came back up. Is that like a feint of some sort?
So we just call that a level change, and yeah, it's a fake. Yeah, so right there, both wrestlers just got out of position. It's a little slide by action by MG. We got the takedown. We stayed on our feet, came up. Now that's not the shot you want to take. That's the shot from distance. Some guys are really able to be effective there. To your point, Ninja, you just saw there on his defensive attack. We're doing it here. We want to get that head down to the mat, slow him down. Think about it. How mobile would you be? How strong would you be if your forehead was on the mat like that? You're not going anywhere. So again, you want to make your opponent slow. You want to take their strength away, get their head to the mat. Nice mat return there by MG there. Another 2 points. We're up. MG's up 4-1 with 25 seconds left.
Now each one of these periods only 2 minutes long, but 2 minutes when you're vying for that much position, the amount of strength and leverage, being held in those positions, that's a long time.
Yeah, we got caught in a cradle here, and no near fall points have been given. We hooked ahead. Look at this. Get your one. Nothing, still had control. I'm sorry, you had a question. I saw a cradle there. I got a little excited.
Yeah, no. And now I'm trying to remember what my question was. Oh, you're talking about how it's only 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah. So high school wrestling, 6-minute matches, 3 2-minute periods. The college level adds a minute to the first period. They go 7. 6-minute matches doesn't seem like a lot, especially if you're used to watching a football game or a basketball game with halves or any other time sport. But I tell you what, it's going to be the hardest 2 minutes and the hardest 6 minutes of your life. It takes an incredible amount of cardiovascular training to be able to wrestle that whole 6 minutes and stay strong. You talk about cross-country runners, track athletes. They have endurance. You need endurance for wrestling, but you also need that muscular endurance, because in this case, you're literally beating on each other and lifting one another and wrestling for leverage. So we both kind of took a shot here. We ended up in the lower position. The MG wrestler's got a front headlock position. He's going to a gator roll, catching the arm on the back side. We got to come out through this because it wasn't tight. Now we have a zipper here, which we gave up, but we just took our 2. Looking for a 3/4 Nelson with the headlock. And we lost the head. I would have liked to seen us get to a more conventional ride there. We still have the leg hooked. We're kind of all over the place, and we gave up a reversal there. Colton tried for that 3/4 Nelson where he's grabbing around the head and trying to pull the head down in the mat and actually underneath the wrestler. You're kind of stacking him up. The problem with that is the kid was standing up when he tried it, so the kid was already long. You really want him compacted before you try to do that. And now this MG's got us in the cradle again, but not in good position. And look at us. Look at here. We've got our arm out. That's the first step. That's where you want to be. Get there. The Beaver Dam bench wanted loss of control, but the ref said nope. MG held on. So Beaver Dam's got the choice. Coach Winker just asked the question, where are you going to score from? It's 8-5 that he's down, so he needs 3 points. We're going to go neutral here. He's been able to get some reversals at the bottom, but they're out of positions where we were going to our back. So smartly and wisely chooses neutral position. Try to work for a takedown because you can always work near fall. We got snapped down there, but we ended up getting into a leg. What he needs to do is get his head out of there. He's going to get his arm out, right arm out. You see it pop. Now we got to get our head out of there. He's going to roll him through. Keep that. That's 2. Now we're working a power half on top where we have our forearm on the top of the head. That creates a lever point. Provides a lot more strength there. We got to get him flat. We are down a point. At this point here, Coach Winker's got a decision to make. You either ride him out, try to get some near fall, or let him go and take him down. This is what you don't want. This is a tough position. See if he can come through this. Oh, he stayed in decent position, but time is ticking. So Coach Winker just said, look, if you're going to break him down and get a turn with a minute left, do it. Otherwise, let him go neutral, take him down. So looks like what Colton's going to do here is go neutral. He gave the neutral sign. That means we're going to give a point to MG for an automatic escape, kind of like nowadays if in baseball, if you want an intentional walk, just signal and go.
Right.
So we're going to give a point. We're going to give, well, before we do anything, we're going to take care of blood. Looks like we got a bloody nose.
Well, while they're taking care of that, we're going to take a moment, take a real quick break. We'll be back in 1 minute 90, or I think I'm on the radio. Daily Dodge TV.
American drivers overpay an average of $368 per year on their auto insurance. Why? Because, well, insurance is hard. It's complicated. It's time-consuming to get quotes from multiple companies, so we overpay. Or we call Richards Insurance in Beaver Dam. Make one call and receive a quote from a great company like Auto Owners Insurance. The team at Richards Insurance will literally do all the work for you. So if you could be saving money each month with an Auto Owners Insurance policy, you'll know about it. How much will you save with Richards Insurance? To find out, call Richards Insurance or stop in at 123 North Spring Street, downtown Beaver Dam. With offices in Columbus, Watertown, West Bend, and Oshkosh. With over 50 employees and hundreds of years insurance experience across 5 offices, you'll get full-service counseling with no obligation. Your auto owner's insurance carrier is Richards Insurance in Beaver Dam. Call 887-1615.
We'll be there with you. Richards Insurance of Beaver Dam.
And we're back. They came back pretty quick.
Yeah, it was a quick blood time. So what you missed is we took a shot. We got stuck underneath. We still have a leg. MG's got her ankle, but now he let go of the ankle. We got to finish right here. 25 seconds to get a takedown. 25 seconds to get a takedown. 20 seconds to get a takedown. We're in decent position. We got the leg. We got to turn that corner. Hit that corner. Oh, this is a muscle move, but keep our hips moving. Got to give it. Got to have turn our hip, twist our hips. You're right there, dude. Right there. You got to turn to the legs. He's going to turn the head. No, he did not get behind the arm. Ref's going to wave that off, saying he did not get behind the near arm to secure a takedown. Coach is going to question that at the table, saying, hey, how did we not have control there? I think the rationale is while we were out front, we weren't behind the arm on that. Nice hard fought match by both wrestlers. Both guys left it out there, put a lot of effort in, and that's going to happen. And what's frustrating for Colton is he was in a position there where he was just so darn close to getting those extra 2 points. We got a hip heist there, go to the legs. Probably going to get that 2 points there, but got to hand it to him. The effort there was awesome.
Wrestling at 190 for the Golden Beavers, Mason Grove. And for the Silver Spartans, forfeits. Monona Grove or forfeits.
So at 190, Monona Grove, McFarland is going to forfeit to Mason Grove. Mason Grove, by the way, junior, 36-13 this last season, was a sectional qualifier at 170 pounds. Definitely spent some time in the weight room. He's gotten bigger. Finished third at the section, so just one spot out of qualifying to state.
And for your Golden Beavers, Cyrus Smith.
We want to take a moment to remind everybody the Beaver Dam Unified School District identifies a School of the Month during the school year. Shout out to the student, staff, and families of this month's school community being recognized, and that's Washington Elementary.
So Cyrus Smith is going to go out there for the Golden Beavers. He's wrestling up at 215. A little undersized for that, but I'll be honest with you, I think both wrestlers probably aren't at 215. He hits a nice ankle pick. Needs to drive through, and he gets it for a 2 point. Now he's got that leg hook. You can see the legs are turned. He's got to hook that bottom leg. If he would have done that, he would have gotten a leg turk and would have made life really easy on himself. But sometimes it happens when you're wrestling. It's not like the other guys letting you do things. So nice takedown, nice stand up by Gallagher from MG. He's right back in on that single leg. Cyrus has to keep that whizzer, that overhook position, get his feet back. He's got to get his legs back here. He's keeping that knee in. He's got to fight to get the leg back. Now it's going to be tough for him. There's leverage there that's going to prevent him from really being able to get back. Now we're caught in a cradle. Got to break those hands, get out of cradle. Do not want to be in a cradle position. They're still there, but it's loose. And Cyrus is reaching for that head. Get one here, get one. He gets back to his feet. So we gave up 3 near fall, but we gained an escape here. 5-3 MG. So you can see Cyrus is hanging on that neck, just on a collar tie. Gallagher's taking our elbow away from there. He's doing a nice job hand controlling against Cyrus. Cyrus is going to have to break through those hand controls to get to a close shot. Gallagher, nice tough shot. Took us down for 2. Now we're trying to fight off a high half. And when I talked to Coach Volk of MG before the match, I asked him, what are you looking for tonight? The first thing he says, we want to improve on the results of last year. Last year, the Golden Beavers beat them 50-27. So really, with a young team again this year, knowing what Beaver Dam has at their disposal this year, they wanted to make the match closer. They wanted to keep fighting. They're looking to, get 50-50 with these matches and see what happens. And really for him, and knowing Coach Volk, and I watched him wrestle collegially at Whitewater, he's all about development. They got 140 kids in their youth program. They're coming up. He wants to see development out of this program and keep building it each and every year. for Coach Winker, I asked him, I said, what are the things you're looking for in an early season matchup? Crisp technique, conditioning, being locked in. And I think you've seen parts of that. But again, as this season progresses, all of those things are going to get tougher and tougher. What we watched this team do last year is just get better and better with each week. This team is really strong in conditioning. They're really strong on technique. We've seen a few things that haven't been perfect tonight, but that's okay. We're going to get better throughout the year. Gallagher's got a real tight lock on that cradle. That Cyrus worked through that, broke those hands. Cyrus needs to get his feet moving. Gallagher's reaching on it and running an ankle right here. You take away somebody's legs, it's hard for them to get away, right?
I'll say a lot of the power in the legs.
Right. You look at bottom wrestling like a table, right? A table's got 4 legs. You take one leg away, it's hard to balance and be sturdy, right? So on the top position, if you're taking an ankle and you're lifting it up, you're removing essentially a leg to the table. Cyrus has to just keep coming up. He's got to circle out. Grab that elbow and circle up. Gallagher kind of gave him that there, but Cyrus is working. He's putting himself in position to get those things and force Gallagher to make some decisions.
It's like a little loss of the headgear there.
Yeah. So 20 seconds left. MG's up 7-4 here on Mr. Smith. Looks like the headgear broke or something fell off. They're going to do some repair. When I was talking about a coach and all the hats they wear, I didn't mention like fixer of all equipment.
Equipment repairman, yeah, absolutely.
Or blood man too in the corner.
Yeah, usually when I think of corner man dealing with blood, I think boxing,
right?
Not necessarily wrestling.
I can tell you, in my time coaching, I've had some guys that just bleed. I've had guys lose matches because they ran out of blood time because they just kept bleeding. It's you have that. Tonight, we went to break. They were able to get the bleeding stopped and cleaned up in less than 45 seconds. Sometimes it goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah, I was absolutely surprised by how quickly. I was expecting, like other sports, usually there's a little more time.
Yeah.
Football, the guy lays there for a while they work out the cramp or whatever the case may be. But tough group of kids out here.
And if you're MG's coaching staff, obviously you all, you understand, like these things happen, but you can't be real happy with it. You were being physical. You were really making Cyrus work. Even though this isn't intentional by any means.
It feels like a break, right?
It feels like a break. It really gives them, the wrestler, an opportunity to catch their breath. Again, that's not intentional. It's part of it. It's equipment failure. It has to get fixed, right? Like those things happen. But, there's been plenty of times when I've coached where our kid got a bloody nose and the coach said, well, wait, that's an opportunity for them to get a break. So it is what it is. 8 seconds left here. I'm getting a text the booth here.
Okay, what do we got?
From DeForest.
Oh.
Want to know what the team score is, and shame on me for not providing the team score. So the current team score is 29-9. Thanks, Dad. 29-9 in favor of the Beavers right now. Third period, here we go. 7-4 MG. They're going to choose down here. Look to get an escape here or reversal to add to the lead.
And there are rules about the positions that you start in. Like you have to have your hands in a certain place or whatever.
Yep, one hand on the elbow, one hand on the navel, hips behind, one knee up, one knee down. Yeah, we get into, there's all sorts of intricacies of that. And I've been, through most matches here, we're most of the way through. We've seen a pretty clean situations here, a lot of clean wrestling, not a lot of cautions, not a lot of illegal holds, not a lot of garbage things. So both these teams, like I said, very well coached. prepared for this early season matchup, and again, they're just going to get better as they go.
And like you said before, we've seen a lot of neutral starts.
Yeah, and I like that. To me, that's fun to watch is offensive wrestling. I equate it to this. Some guys really like to watch a football game that's defensive, and it's a battle between two offenses that don't score because the defenses are so tough. I don't know. Give me two offenses that can go out and score and light up the scoreboard.
Honestly, they were a little unhappy that they got called out of the ring there, but like you said, 2 points inside.
Right. So, yeah. So, kid from MG was in on a leg. Cyrus had kind of a roll through kind of counter to it. Kind of rolled him through and went off the mat. So, match stoppage there. Thumb to the eye. You're going to stop that every time. I think we got a little wild with our head taps there. That might have caused that, but that is what it is. They're going to stop that every time. Cyrus coming at him with double unders, trying to get a big move. He's down 5, so he needs a takedown to the back to get 3 near falls. So a 5-point throw here would be big for him. So he's coming. And Gallagher from MG did exactly what he needed to do. Got, his opponent's coming at him, trying to get a 5-point throw. What's the best way to stay out of a 5-point throw? Shoot low, get to the legs, because as you can see here, really tough to throw a kid to their back when you're on the defensive. And Gallagher's doing a nice job, just kind of working methodically up the body. He's in control. He's got a 5-point lead. He doesn't need to rush anything. Just stay in good position. For Cyrus, time's running out here. Looks like they got a disorderly conduct on the Beavers there. I didn't see what it was, but that's 1 point to MG for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Just barely under 4 seconds left in the third period.
Yeah. Roll there, try to see if he can make something happen, but MG's going to take this one 13-5. That's a major decision, so 4 more points on the scoreboard for MG. And that brings us to heavyweight. By the way, should mention, that was 215, not 220, another change in weight class.
Now wrestling at 285.
Heavyweight's going to stay the same, folks, 285. Here we go.
For the Golden Beavers, Michael
Keberline coming out for the Beavers. He was 25-18 last year as a freshman. He was a freshman at 220, and that's a tough weight for a freshman to break in at.
Right.
You start looking at the upper weights, well, now it'd be 90, 215 at heavyweight. If you're breaking in as a freshman, that's tough. You're usually wrestling upperclassmen those spots. So, he showed some really good things last year. Unfortunately, as a freshman, his record, makes sense there. But this is a talented kid. He's got some experience, and I really think he's got a bright future. And I know Coach Winker believes the same.
Now we talk about.
Oh, look at that! So we're at the heavyweight position, and the MG wrestler took a nice low shot, got on the angle. He's back on the shot. He's did a nice job driving his feet. Every football coach would love that, just driving those feet, getting through to the takedown.
Keep the feet moving.
Yeah.
Now, does wrestling, is the technique different when you start getting into these heavyweight classes?
100%. And at Ninja, I wish you could see it. Back in the day when I wrestled, you start at the lowest weight and you finish at the upper weight. So you could really see clearly the change in style. Heavyweight wrestling has, though, progressed. A lot of it's from a more, it used to be you get guys that were 275 pounds that were all of 275 pounds, cutting weight to get to 270 pounds. A lot of guys coming right off the football field. Mm-hmm. And really heavyweight, you see a lot of, there are still some big dudes out there, but you see a lot of smaller guys, a lot more athletic. guys, so you see more shots, and that's really because of the college influence. You see a lot more coaches at the high school ranks that wrestle collegiately in the upper weights that are bringing that style. So a lot more athleticism, a lot more getting on the legs, similar to a middleweight. That being said, there's no changing the fact that you're 285 pounds potentially. Now, I don't think either one of these guys are at that size. They're a little smaller heavyweights, but nevertheless, even if you're 215 pounds in a full 215, let's say these guys, I didn't see the weigh-ins, but let's say they're 230 and 240 respectively. You're going to move differently than a kid that's at 150 pounds or 170 pounds. You're definitely going to move differently than a kid that's 132 pounds, our opening match tonight. So the technique changes. The brutality, if you want to call it, changes because, you know, a hard crossface is going to be different. And a lot of guys, a lot of fans prefer to see the light and the middleweights as opposed to your upper weights. And I put it like this. I'm a big college football fan. It's the difference between watching an SEC program and a Big Ten program traditionally. The SEC, you're going to throw it around, moving all around the field. Big Ten, let's line up and 3 yards in a cloud of dust, right? Look at this. Caberline throws a leg, catches him on a sit-out, goes crossface, puts him to his back. And look at that. Gets his hips over. He's got his hips down. You see that? He's got his hips down low. So he's not getting rolled here. He's got leverage here. So he's got to pin that right or that left shoulder down. He's working. He's got his chin on it, and he gets the pin. Nice job, Mike. And so we just finished our upper weight, heavyweight. We're going to go all the way back around. We're going to go to 106. 106.
Now, why the change from lowest to highest? Is that just to break things up, or?
I'm going to see what they're going to do here first.
Silver Spartan, Corbin. And for Beaver Dam, at 106, Landon Jackson.
All right, so why they do it? So it used to be go lightest to heaviest, right?
Right.
And in college still does it this way in most cases. The biggest argument was that it features different wrestling, you know, in a more random way. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I would prefer lightest to heaviest. Let's get after it. Because when you're a heavyweight and you're wrestling under that, you take pride in being the anchor. The duel comes down to you. Now here we got a treat here. We've got 2 female wrestlers that are going to get after it tonight, wrestling at 113 pounds for Beaver Dam. We got Kylan Reynolds wrestling her first match here against Kaylee Cardosa, a junior.
I'm very happy to see some female wrestlers out there. I know wrestling traditionally, even when I'm day, traditionally a male sport, or seen as a male sport.
Yeah, so women's wrestling is really growing in the state of Wisconsin. We were, I believe, the 25th state in the country to add women's wrestling, sanctioned women's wrestling. We did that a couple years ago. The last 2 years, they've had a girls' state wrestling tournament. And last year, they had the state tournament up at the Kohl Center alongside the boys. Last year, women's wrestling exploded by 50%. And they expect that number to continue to rise this year. And somebody was asking me earlier today, you know, what I thought why that was the case. Well, number one, you know, you look at most high schools across Wisconsin, there aren't a lot of opportunities for girls in the winter. You know, here, I say no more. You know, girls basketball is big here in Beaver Dam, and traditionally that's been the major sport for girls offerings in the winter. But, you know, in other places, the only other offering is really cheer, pom. Now, some places have gymnastics. You know, Watertown, I know down the road, has gymnastics. But consistently speaking, girls basketball is really the primary offering. So this provides another opportunity, another avenue for girls. But I think the real reason why, you know, the stigma is going away, and Wisconsin's done a great job. Coaches across the state have done a great job providing female-only events where girls are wrestling other girls. So rather than a girl going in and wrestling a boy, they're now wrestling how it should be, providing an opportunity for them just no different than girls basketball, girls soccer, girls tennis, anything else. And you got to love to see it. So we're really happy that Kylan's out. Kylan is a heck of a cross-country and track athlete, and we're glad to see she's trying it. She's a heck of an athlete for us. She's a stud cross-country runner. And
which tells me strong legs.
And she's going to have endurance here. And so MG got called for stalling here because she was not returning us to the mat. Now she's got called for locked hands. So we're going to get a point here. Kylan's going to get a point here for sure coming. She's down 3-0 now, but she's got a point coming to her as soon as the ref stops the match, which he just did. So here's a point. We're going to go back to neutral. Looked like the stoppage earlier when we were talking was for a bloody nose, and looks like a little blood's on the mat. It's taken almost the entire dual meet to get blood on the mat. That doesn't happen very often.
I was going to say, that's impressive.
And I think we just lost half our audience. Score adjustment 2-1. Kylan's underneath here. She's got to break those legs, so she's got to get her hips out. She did a great job there, broke the hands. That is textbook how you want it. Nice job. So now we got to do a little hand fighting here. We got to get inside. Look for her to snap that head down. Oh, she's got a nice shot. Oh, she's got to stay with it. Just got out of position a little bit, but she had a real nice shot there. And now she's into a half. Here's the thing, that's experience, and I applaud her getting that first match, because that is not easy. But she had a really nice shot there. Boy, oh boy, real nice shot there. We finished that shot. We're taking the opponent to the mat, probably putting her on her back, and probably having that same result just the other way. So, nice job, and again, takes a lot of guts. Takes a lot of guts to come out here. And compete in wrestling. It takes a lot of guts to open your career under the spotlight on varsity.
Yeah, absolutely. And that talks, or leads to the talk that you had about technique. Getting that technique tight. It is still early. It's the debut, but that's stuff you can work on and tighten up over the season.
Yeah. So Beaver Dam's going to forfeit here. Got a few people out of the lineup tonight. That'll be filled down the road. So team score going into our last match tonight, 41-19 Beavers. This is Grayson Kenneman coming out here.
It looks like they hadn't added that forfeit score on there yet, so now it's 41-25 Golden Beavers. 41-25
Beavers. So we've got Grayson Kennevan. He's a sophomore, was 22-10 last year. Wrestled down at 113, so he's jumped up 2 weight classes for us this year. Wrestling Chasten Dotzauer. Grayson last year, like I said, was 22-10. Had his season cut short a little bit, but he was another real highlight last year watching him. They had a really, really strong lower weight class grouping last year, and I was really impressed with Gavin last year at 113. You can see he really grinds on that crossface. He's a physical wrestler down there, and he gets after it. I tell you what, I always coach their upper weights. I always like upper weight wrestling, but you get a lightweight guy that's willing to get after, get a little nasty. God, you gotta love that. He's getting his hips out of position there. He tried to come out front with a crossface 2-on-1 and just got out of position. You got to really break him down to a hip if you want that to be real effective. He's looking, just getting our hips out of position. Again, early season stuff.
It's interesting seeing when they can get, when they get that open position. You can see him pushing on. Push on the elbow.
There we go. We went to a sit-out position and a switch. That forced MG to react, and they screwed up their early season. Locked hands. So we got a point coming. We got the reversal. Now we're looking for near fall. We've got a cradle. He had that scoop there. I would have kept that scoop there. It would have it would have really flattened him out. So I don't know if the ref waved off the locked hands or what. Kenevin's looking for that armbar. What he's got to do is take his elbow and really bring that whole arm back. You're not going to ever pull someone's arm back just with your wrist. You got to take your elbow and really bring that back. Use your whole upper body to do that. But again, I really like how he. I was just going to say, I really like how he keeps a lot of pressure on him, and especially on the head, and MG stands right up and almost gets an escape. You know, we're doing a lot of really nice things here as a team. We're being very physical, especially on the head and the shoulders and the upper back. We just got to get our pressure back on their hips. The MG wrestlers all night long have been able to get their hips underneath them and get to the stand-ups, and that's something that Coach Winker and Coach Newberger are going to see as they watch this back, and that's something they're going to be working on this week, I'm sure. But I love how physical we are on top. That's the end of the first period. We're up 4-2. Team score, 41-25 in favor of the Golden Beavers. I'm just thankful my voice is held out for this.
Yeah, you've done very well.
I've been fighting a cold, so I'm just glad it worked out. So MG came up to stand up, and Kenevin just stayed with it and rode him through and got him flat again. Again, keeping a lot of pressure on the upper back. But look at that. We came out to the side, and they popped their hips up. So, again, that's something we got to really work on, is keeping those hips down. And, you know, there are guys that are going to be able to get their hips up. So then what do you do? Like a coach told me, there are counters, and then there's counters to counters, and then there's counters to counters to counters. In the sport of wrestling, you have to be able to react to everything that's happening. And I know that sounds daunting, but this is what the sport is. You know, you can have the best game plan set up. You can teach the technique perfectly. Well, guess what they're doing on the other side? They're doing that too.
Right.
So you got to be able to react to their counters. Again, doing a nice job putting pressure forward and grinding a little bit here. But the hips coming up, and that's one thing we got to keep working on. Looked like he got a power half there. He's got to run that. He got high again. Got out too far. Lost the position. Fell off. Under a minute. It's tied 4-4. Grayson's got to get a point here. 48 seconds. We got to get to our feet. Up to his feet. Got to cut through. Nice. And then gives him a little shove on once he gets to his feet. Got to like that. And then he just grabs him and pulls him down. I don't think I'm going to call that a slide by. I don't think I'm going to call that a snap down. He just grabbed him and forced him down. Okay, 22 seconds left. What can we do here? We got the lead 7-4. He's got to get out to the side. He's riding a little parallel. Ref's looking for it now. We got to get out to the side. It's nice that we've got a cross face, but what are you going to do with it? We're hooking that ankle. See, Ninja, we're taking that leg away by lifting that ankle with ours. It took that fourth support, forced MG back flat.
Got those hips back to the mat where they want them.
Absolutely. You want him laying flat on the mat. Third period coming up. 2 minutes left. Last period of the match. We're going to choose down, get away here. Got that leg out. Going to sit out. Comes through. Nice. Right on the head. Right on the attack. Looking to score here. He's going to go, just do a simple go behind. Up 9-4 with 1:45 left. I don't know, you got a 5-point lead here. I might just cut him loose and get some takedowns. It looks like Beaver Dam's content with having him ride out here. My only concern is he's gotten a little loose on top position here. He's been fine. See, he's hooking that ankle and lifting it up. That's really prying on the bottom man there. He's taking that support away. He's preventing that. But again, we're out of position. We got a little too high, a little too out front. We've given up the takedown. Or the reversal, excuse me. And we've got our hips turned. We got to get our hips turned back down. This is not a good position. We don't want to be in a position to give up near fall. Now we're laying flat. 57 seconds left in the match. We're up 9-6. We got our hips, and this kid's not putting any hip pressure. We need, let's get back to that sit and turn. Let's get to our quad and knee slide up. We got to circle up. Circle to our left. Let's just circle to it. We don't need the legs. Circle up. We want to get to our feet. This kid's out of position here. We've got the leg hooked for a potential Granby. Looks like that's what he's trying. Modified version, don't go over. The kid's got a cradle. We sat, got our hips back. That changed our weight. We're going to finish there. And with a pin. How about that?
With 6.8 seconds left in the third period.
And that's going to be all she wrote.
Winning by a fall for the Golden Beavers.
47-25. Golden Beavers are going to take this one.
Final score. Beaver Dam Golden Beavers 47.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take this moment to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll come back and give you some final thoughts, some final words, and talk things through. We'll be back here on Daily Dodge TV in just a moment.
Are you ready for peace of mind? Chad Guzzi here, owner of Air Care in Beaver Dam. If you're tired of unexpected repair bills, you want to sign up for our Total Care plan. It ensures top performance and prolonged life of your heating and air conditioning equipment. Air Care's Total Care customers receive annual inspections as well as a reduced maintenance rate plus a 10% discount on all service repairs. Air Care, big enough to serve you, small enough to care. 920-356-8860.
The teams at Beaver Dam and Mayville Tire and Service are growing and adding service technicians and auto lube technicians. Work in a clean shop environment with a fun and friendly team that is committed to excellence and customer satisfaction. Competitive pay based on experience, full benefits, including health, dental, 401k. Join the growing team at Beaver Dam and Mayville Tire and Service. Find full job postings on Facebook or visit either location to submit your resume.
Hi, this is Dr. Adam Forster at Columbus Family Dental. If you've been unhappy with your smile, it's time that you come and see us. Our team of doctors are waiting to help you get your smile back. We'll take the time to talk with you and treat you like a member of our family, not just another number. Whether it's a whole mouth makeover or simply a little tweak, we'll find the right solution that fits you. For your free, no-pressure consultation, call us today at 623-5559.
Cheer! Now cheer louder. Any accomplishment worth doing is worth doing with all your heart and soul. The entire team at Hometown Glass and Improvement knows that dedication, time, and respect can lead to greatness. When practicing free throws, running for a touchdown, or installing new windows and doors, it's a commitment to something larger than oneself that creates a legacy. So keep cheering for your hometown team. Hometown Glass and Improvement, online at hometownglass.com.
Jerry's Automotive in Beaver Dam is a champion of our local schools. Team up with Jerry's Automotive by pumping your gas at their Spirit Pump, where 2 cents of every gallon is donated to a local school each month. Jerry's Automotive also provides exceptional vehicle service and repairs and a great selection of convenience items. Visit Jerry's Automotive Center WI.com and on Facebook. Jerry's Automotive, 700 North Spring Street in Beaver Dam, across the street from Beaver Dam Food Pride.
Is selling your home like a walk in the park? If you were in Central Park at 2 a.m. maybe. Chris Kladowski Real Estate. When it is time to sell, be it due to loss or love, growth or downsizing, staying near or going far, there are 3 basic steps. List it, sell it, move on. The steps are made simple by working with a trusted real estate advisor. Our family team is with you every step of the way, making those 3 steps as smooth and fun as possible. Kladowski Real Estate. We look forward to serving you.
When it comes to a winning lineup, turn to the selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam. Their team goes the extra mile to provide a winning experience, from hassle-free financing options to exceptional customer service. It's like having a dedicated cheering section cheering you on in every step of the vehicle purchase. Give the team at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam a call at 920-885-3301 or visit napleton151.com and find new roads with their winning inventory.
You're watching the Daily Dodge postgame show.
Well, we're back. Final score tonight, 47-25. Coach, congratulations on the first win. What are your thoughts on tonight?
Well, it's the first duel. We're out of the chutes. We got going. Monona Grove's a very scrappy team. They're young, but they made every single guy we put out there work. So very impressed with Monona Grove and the team they got out there. We had some good high points. I think it was just it's early in the season. We got some things to clean up, and it's about growth every single day. We got some really good wrestlers. We just got to make sure that we're showing them every time we step on the mat.
One thing I noticed is even though it's new, guys got after it. Whether that's in the neutral position, on bottom they were working, on top. Is that something you guys work on in the room? And what are you telling them to get to that point?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're always trying to create opportunities to score points, whether that's setups on your feet, just staying in good position on the bottom, waiting for that opportunity to score, staying in good position on top, and just grinding that guy down and opening up that opportunity to get a turn and score on top.
Badger Conference matchup. You guys open up. Femrite starts the duel off. An experienced kid that had a lot of success last night. What is getting out to a hot start, a fast start mean for a team like this?
Anytime you can, set that tone at that first match, get out and, he won 3-0, guy doesn't score a point. It sets a tone for the team that, we're going to control these matches and we're going to be aggressive. So, Femrite and Cypher did a really good job starting up the duel for us.
So going forward, got tomorrow. Still got a lot of Badger Conference to go. What's the message going forward? How do you get this team ready for some of the lofty goals that you guys have for the rest of this season?
Well, we just got done talking. We can agree that we made some mistakes tonight. We maybe were a little bit overconfident stepping on the mat. Maybe thought that our opponent, we could score, more willingly than we could against our opponent. And, it's that message. You got to respect your opponent every time you step on the mat, and that's what this sport teaches you. You always got to be prepared. You prepare for every match the same. Then it's the only way you know how to do it. But it's early, and we know we can improve, and we still got out of here with a win. We got tomorrow as an opportunity to improve. We won matches that maybe we left it a little closer than we needed to. But, we're out of here. We got our first conference win, tied for the conference lead, I guess. And now it's just let's improve, do better tomorrow. Sleep it off and get up and get after it again. We got 6 duels tomorrow, so it's gonna be a long day.
Yeah, last question for you. Kylan Eastlick goes out there, hasn't ever wrestled, but a representative of women's wrestling in Wisconsin. Just talk about that and how that's changed over the years.
I mean, I grew up in a time where dads wouldn't let their daughters wrestle because that's not what girls do. So, to have that growth in the sport of women's wrestling across the entire country, United States is one of the leaders in international wrestling right now. And to be able to convey that to our younger generation, young ladies, and be able to show, that girls can step out on the mat and compete too. So that was something Coach Volk and I talked about, like, hey, we got these 2 girls at the same weight. Let's wrestle them in varsity, and let's showcase that a little bit.
So down at East Troy tomorrow for varsity. JV's at Waukesha South. Plymouth is for the freshmen.
Yep.
Sounds like a whole lot of wins.
Yep. We're going 3 directions tomorrow, so hoping that everybody's at a tournament that challenges them at their own level, and if we're not winning, we better be learning how we can improve.
Let's get after it tomorrow. Best of luck.
Sounds good.
Thank you. You know what? I'll do that, and then I'll do this, and then it won't be awkward.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
In today's financial markets, you will find all your needs met at Park Village Shopping Center. Time is right for a home equity line of credit. The folks at Horicon Bank can make those home remodel dreams a reality. Searching for sound financial advice? Kevin Smith of Edward Jones will help you make sense of your investments. Kevin knows the market inside and out. Knightberry Title meets all your title needs, from commercial to residential. The team at Knightberry is your partner for success. This is why you hear people say, I shop Park Village Shopping Center. You should too.
Park Village Shopping Center.
15% off the most awarded SUV ever, the 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee and Grand Cherokee L at Reed Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Beaver Dam. Hello, this is Brent Reed, and this deal is so good, I've got to say it again. 15% off brand new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokees during the Black Friday sales event. That's over $10,000 in savings on select models. This is going to be a Black Friday like no other. Let our family take care of your family at Reed Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Beaver Dam and ReedChrysler.com.
Hi, I'm Josh Schneider with Silica for Your Home. We have a great feature available in our showrooms, our digital price tags. They search the internet every day and allow us to adjust the prices based on our competitors. That ensures you are always getting the best deal. If it finds a lower price, it will automatically change our silica price in real time. These digital price tags are all about saving you time and money. Shop Silica for your home for the best sales, service, and selection.
Hey, it's Stacy with Slumberland, Beaver Dam in Watertown. Stop in and see everything that our store has to offer. We built it just for you. We have mattresses, box springs, power bases, bedroom sets, furniture, living room sets, dining sets, everything that you would need to complete your entire home. We've got our interest-free financing and a really great local staff here to help you. So you've got all local people here to help you out from start to
Summit
finish
Ford
for anything
Beaver
you would
Dam.
need.
We
So
are
stop
committed.
in, shop local, and save big with us.
The comfort in your home is too important to trust to just anyone. With over 75 years in the industry, Surefire Heating and Air Conditioning is proud to bring our community the heating and cooling services you deserve. Expect nothing short of excellence in service, installation, and 24/7 emergency service. As a premier Lennox dealer, we carry the best in equipment to bring you and your home peace of mind. Schedule your annual maintenance or claim your free in-home estimate today, 920-485-4883. Surefire, keeping what's important comfortable since 1947.
At Summit Ford Beaver Dam, we are committed to serving the customers in our community, to bringing you into our dealership and making the buying process easy, fun, stress-free, and memorable. Thank you for choosing us and voting us Dodge County's best place to buy a new or used vehicle. Stop in today for a test drive and to see how we can help you find the car of your dreams. Summit Ford Beaver Dam.
You're watching the Daily Dodge Postgame Show.
And welcome back to the Beaver Dam High School Fieldhouse Ninja here with Athletic Director Ryan Gerber. We've wrapped up. We got a final right now, 47-25 Beaver Dam over Monona Grove McFarland. Go ahead and put a bow on this one for me.
Well, were there things that the team could have done better? Yeah. Are they going to be in better shape as the season goes on? Yeah. But, you're in one of the tougher conferences that you have. You're competing against a very well-coached team in MG and McFarland. Bottom line, you came out with a win. There were guys that got there were wrestlers on the team that got their first varsity matches tonight. You're able to get through that. You're able to get some guys back on the mat that you expect a lot of firepower from this year, and they were able to look really good. And I'm going to tell you, and I don't want to give away any secrets because I know there's people watching, right? But there are guys on this roster that didn't wrestle tonight that are going to bring a lot more explosivity to this roster. So this roster is going to get better just from the standpoint that guys are going to get better over the year, but there's people that are going to be inserted into the lineup that are going to make it even stronger. So this is a team that I really believe has a shot to compete for that conference title. We're going to have Milton here at home coming up, and that's going to be a huge, huge duel. So make sure you circle that one on the calendar. That's going to be standing room only. That will be for the conference crown more than likely, just like last year. And I think this is a team that can make a run late if they get some of these adjustments fixed.
And I'm willing to bet, I believe that one's on the schedule for us for Daily Dodge TV.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to that one. I will say I'm absolutely blown away by the athleticism I've seen today, to see how, regimented and how well these people have trained, the work they're putting out there. You said it's early.
It's early.
Many of them are young.
Yeah.
But they've obviously put in a lot of time and a lot of effort to get to where they're at. I can't wait to see, how this progresses, and I can't wait to hear how things unfold for tomorrow, because you said they're wrestling all over the place tomorrow.
Yeah, so the varsity is going to be down in East Troy at a varsity duels tournament. So they're going to wrestle dual meets just like this. They have 6 of those tomorrow, and I'll be down there with Coach. So I'm going to be down supporting the team.
There you go.
And if Coach asks for any thoughts, I may provide those.
Okay.
But the varsity is going to be competing in a tough tournament down there tomorrow. The JV is going to be down at Waukesha South. And then the freshmen are going to go to a beginners tournament, which is great. So for a lot of our kids that have never wrestled before until tonight, they're going to get to go up there and wrestle kids in a similar spot. This team is going to get better. And I know the future's bright with Coach Winker and Coach Newberger leading the charge here. Yeah, guys, if you're not locked in yet as a Beaver Dam wrestling fan, get on the bandwagon now, because you don't want to be called a bandwagoner later. Get on now. Buy in now. Buy stock, because it's only going to get more expensive.
And I will say this is just another example of how athletics at Beaver Dam seem to be taking to another level. We know the basketball team has been doing really, really well, has done very well for many years. The football team is performing more and more. Our baseball teams, our softball teams, everything. Everything seems to be, I don't want to say everything comes up Beaver Dam, but I keep seeing continued growth.
Yeah.
And continued work towards really building some great programs.
Well, the girls' basketball program, that is what this community, this school has been known for quite a while. And hats off to Coach Chase and what they've been able to accomplish over the years here. They've really set the standard of excellence here. And, as the saying goes, a rising tide lifts all boats. So everyone's seen that. They've watched that. They've watched the process. They've been part of it. You absorb that culture. Last night was a great example, and I put it on Twitter. It was a super sweep. You had the girls winning by 20 here at home against Milton. The boys were road warriors, went down to Watertown, beat a conference rival in Watertown by 20.
Always a big game.
The boys hockey team hosted Wanakee, which is a huge matchup for the conference crown, and they not only beat them, but beat them 5-1. A lot of people are really kind of like in awe of that. And then to put the cherry on top, the girls hockey program goes on the road last night under Coach Mike Pogorelic. They go up to Baraboo and they win 3-1. And I looked this up. They hadn't won a game since the 16-17 school year. Now,
wow.
We could hide from that and say, boy, it's been tough, but I think that's something to celebrate. That team has come a long way, and they had games that they were so close last year to winning. They finally broke through. You should have seen. I talked to Coach Pogorelic today, and he said girls were tearing up going into the third period because they had never been leading going into the third period before. He said after the game, girls were crying because they were so happy. For that program, I'm so happy that they're able to get over the hump and great things ahead. So this winter season, I've been telling Wade this on our Wednesdays, this winter season has all the makings of a good season. All 5 of these programs are going to be rocking full cylinder. Here we go. Hold on tight. It's going to be a great winter.
I'm expecting a lot of postseason runs for a lot of these different groups, which is absolutely amazing. Well, I do want to thank you, of course, for taking the time out of your busy day. And I want to thank, of course, your wife for letting you come take the time out of your busy schedule to be here with us and explain the amazing sport that is wrestling. Because, again, I am just a layman when it comes to all of it. Appreciate your insight. I'm hoping you'll be back and do this again with us.
If you'll have me, I'll be here.
Awesome. We would absolutely love to have you back. I want to remind everybody that our broadcast today on Daily Dodge TV is presented by Hometown Glass and Improvement, Columbus Family Dental, Beaver Dam Unified School District. Those are our presenting sponsors. We also, of course, are sponsored by McKinstry's Home Furnishings, Klidowski Real Estate, Slumberland, Silica for Your Home, Summit Ford, Beaver Dam Mayville Tire and Service, Surefire, Richards Insurance, Reed Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Park Village Shopping Center, Preferred Dental Partners, Jerry's Automotive, Air Care, Napleton Chevy Buick GMC, and White Construction. We invite you all to tune in to our next Daily Dodge TV broadcast, which will be tomorrow night for the parade, the holiday parade downtown. I don't know if you'll be swinging by to check that out. Highly recommended if you do.
I will be in East Troy with the team.
That's right. You'll be.
However, there's a bunch of sites all over town that people can visit on throughout that have different things, including here at the high school. Mr. John Gansky, who's our FFA and animals teacher, is going to have a little bit something here at the high school. So if you got little ones that want to see some of the animals back in that area. I know Mr. Tronson and I were back there the other day. We were watching we were with a couple students back there. They got cows back there. They've got a pig back there that was just running all over crazy like. It was a good time. So I'm excited to see what Mr. Gansky has cooked up for tomorrow.
Well, there you go. You never know what's happening here at the Beaver Dam Unified School District. And again, I want to thank you for joining us for Athletic Director Ryan Gerber. My name's Ninja. We want to thank you for tuning in to Daily Dodge TV. This has been a Daily Dodge Sports presentation. Have a good night, everybody.
You're watching the Daily Dodge postgame show.